Welcome to The Explainer. So, how do you know if someone in your life is truly dangerous, deceptive, or just hiding behind a mask? The Bible actually warns us that not everyone who appears friendly is truly for us. Sometimes, God gives us discernment to recognize what we just couldn't see before. Today, we're breaking down how ancient biblical texts approach this very modern problem of spotting an evil person. And look, this isn't about becoming paranoid, hateful, or judgmental. Biblical discernment is really about seeing clearly, protecting your peace, walking wisely, and refusing to be deceived by someone's outward appearance.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Matthew 7:15 paints a really vivid, stark picture for us. The most dangerous enemy you'll face isn't the one who breaks through your window in the middle of the night. It's actually the one who walks right through your front door, sits at your table, and calls you a friend. Deception that's hidden inside a warm smile is just far deadlier than an enemy you can see coming from a mile away.
No remorse. Watch their response.
If you really want to figure out someone's true character, you just need to watch how they react when they cause you hurt. A soft heart, well, it genuinely breaks when it realizes it's caused pain. But a hardened, deceptive heart does the exact opposite. It deflects. It gives you that classic, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Deflection, dressed up as an apology, is just a performance, guys. It's not true repentance. An evil heart literally never owns the wound it causes.
Proverbs 28:13 points out that mercy fundamentally requires confession. Notice the structure there. Mercy is absolutely available, but only to the one who admits fault. If someone in your life has never, not even once, looked you in the eye and said, "I was wrong and I'm genuinely sorry," you know that isn't just a quirky little detail about them. It's a deeply revealing pattern of character. Stop waiting around for an apology that requires a level of humility they simply don't possess.
Sign 2. Constant lying. Truth is flexible.
For a truly deceptive person, objective truth, it doesn't really exist. Truth is basically just clay to them, raw material to be shaped, molded, and reshaped into whatever suits their needs in that exact moment. And habitual liars do this with incredible confidence. You aren't going to see them stammer or blush or hesitate. They'll lie about small, totally unnecessary things just to look better. And that smooth confidence you're seeing, that isn't innocence, it's practice.
Proverbs 12:22 actually links this kind of habitual dishonesty to a literal spiritual bloodline of deception. The crucial takeaway here for us is this: do not let a practiced liar's absolute confidence create self-doubt in your own mind. Their absolute greatest weapon is making you question your own grip on reality.
Sign 3. Mind games. Twisting the truth.
This is the point where deception turns from just an annoying character flaw into active, dangerous control. 2 Timothy 3:13 points to seducers. Now, these aren't just people who tell falsehoods. They are highly skilled at twisting the truth to pull you into utter confusion until you literally can't tell what's real anymore. The modern clinical world calls this gaslighting, but brilliantly, these biblical texts recognize this kind of mental enslavement thousands of years ago. If you've ever been on the receiving end of things like, "Oh, you're just too sensitive," or "You're remembering it wrong," or "I never said that," consider each of those sentences a tiny blade. Enough of those little blades will completely slice away at your confidence, making you doubt your own memory and sanity. You have to trust the record over the manipulation. You were simply not made to doubt what you clearly saw and felt.
Sign 4. Cruel joy. Feeding on downfalls.
Now, this sign is incredibly subtle, but it's perhaps the absolute clearest indicator of a hardened heart. Look at Proverbs 24:17. Think about why this specific command even exists. Human nature requires reminding. A truly righteous heart genuinely grieves over the downfall of others. Yes, even those who have hurt them. But an evil heart, it quietly feeds on it and thrives on their stumbling. You really have to watch for the micro expressions here. You know, that little laugh when someone gets embarrassed, the excitement in their voice when some destructive gossip lands, that deep, smug satisfaction when karma strikes someone they happen to dislike. Watch what makes a person light up, because compassion cannot be faked forever. Genuine joy at someone else's suffering tells you everything you need to know about the true condition of their heart.
Sign 5. Two faces. The sweet mask.
This is the mask that is incredibly sweet to your face, but literally razor sharp the moment you turn your back. Jesus actually reserved his absolute harshest words, not for ordinary people making ordinary mistakes, but for the two-faced. In Matthew 23, he calls them whited sepulchres, beautifully whitewashed on the outside, but full of decay on the inside. This is the person who will lavish you with compliments, and then completely dismantle your character the exact moment you leave the room.
Now, you might never actually catch them saying these things to your face, but you will absolutely feel the aftershocks. Friendships mysteriously cooling off, rooms that suddenly go dead quiet when you walk in. The rule of thumb here is just brilliant in its simplicity. A person who gossips about everyone else to you will undoubtedly gossip about you to everyone else.
Walking in wisdom and peace. Handling discernment.
So the crucial point is, we've walked through the 5 signs, but what exactly do we do with this information? The goal here isn't to make you bitter or hateful. There is a very clear separation between judgment and discernment. Judgment says, you are evil and I condemn your soul. But discernment? Discernment says, I see the fruit of your actions and I'm going to walk accordingly. As Jesus said in Matthew 7:16, ye shall know them by their fruits. You don't need to deliver a courtroom verdict on them. You just need enough clarity to protect your own peace.
Matthew 10:16 calls us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. It's this brilliant combination of deep wisdom and profound gentleness. Listen, you are allowed to create healthy distance. You can absolutely stop explaining yourself to someone who is determined to misunderstand you. Be wise enough to see the trap, but gentle enough not to become cruel or panicked in your response.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this. If God has been revealing something about a person in your life, don't react in anger. Pray for wisdom, ask God for discernment, watch the fruit, and walk in truth. You are never meant to walk blind through life. You are meant to walk in freedom, clarity, and peace. Trust your discernment. If this deep dive resonated with you and helped you see things just a bit more clearly, I invite you to explore more of our breakdowns. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and keep walking in wisdom.